You sit alone in the quiet, feeling the weight of everyone's unspoken pain pressed against your chest. Faces flash by, smiles that don't quite reach the eyes, tears held back in silent restraint. There's a gentle ache in your heart, a whisper that maybe you're too sensitive, too aware, too much. You try to love fiercely, to connect deeply, but somehow, it always feels like you're swimming against an invisible current, drifting farther from the warmth you crave. You give everything, yet somehow, you end up feeling more alone than ever. You wonder if your empathy is a gift or a curse, if your soul is just too open, too raw for the world's chaos. And beneath it all, a quiet question lingers. Why does this tenderness, this genuine care, seem to always come with such suffering? The familiar routines, the masks you wore, they're slipping away, leaving you in a quiet, uncharted space. It's as if the ground beneath your feet has shifted, and the person you thought you were is dissolving into the shadows of what once was. This disorienting numbness, it's not failure. It's the silent death of the ego's grip, the collapse of a false self built on surface-level pursuits. Like a seed buried deep in the earth, your true self is awakening, hidden, waiting to emerge from the debris of old illusions. And in this liminal space, where everything feels unfamiliar, you are not broken. You are being emptied, prepared for something greater. The discomfort, the confusion, the sense of losing yourself, these are not signs of malfunction, but the necessary silence before rebirth. Because sometimes, awakening is not a gentle glow, but a profound death, an ending that makes way for a new beginning, and in that quiet darkness, your true self waits patiently to be reborn. It's not a mistake that you're in between, it's the alchemical process of transformation, the ancient dance of death and rebirth. Imagine yourself as a phoenix, rising from ashes that once seemed final, now fertile ground for renewal. The pain, the confusion, these are not signs of failure, but the universe's gentle way of peeling away what no longer serves. Beneath the surface, a quiet whisper stirs, an invitation to meet yourself anew, beyond the masks and expectations. This is the moment when the ego's funeral is held, and the true self begins to stir in the quiet aftermath. It's a reminder that the cocoon is not a prison, but a sacred vessel of becoming. The darkness is not the end, it's the sacred threshold where the soul sheds its old skin, preparing to emerge reborn. Trust that this silence, this stillness, is part of a divine rhythm, an invitation to surrender into the mystery. Because in surrender, you are not losing yourself, you are discovering who you have always been beneath the masks. This is the realm of the shadow, as Carl Jung described, the hidden language of the unconscious. It's not just the darkness outside, but the suppressed truths within. The parts of you you've pushed aside, fear, vulnerability, unmet needs, are buried deep, like dormant seeds waiting for the right moment to grow. You've learned to hide your fire to survive, but in doing so, you've also silenced your true self. That numbness, that emotional fog, it's not absence, it's a locked vault of feelings you've deemed unsafe or unacceptable. It's the weight of unacknowledged shame, the ghost of unexpressed longing whispering from the shadows. You may feel disconnected from your desire, as if your essence is slipping through cracks in the wall you've built around your heart. This isn't just chaos, it's a silent cry for recognition, a memory trying to surface through layers of protection. Your inner darkness holds the key, and within it lies the truth of who you are, waiting patiently for your courage to face it. These parts are now in a silent battle, neither fully in control, neither fully letting go. You want to move forward, to embrace the new, but something keeps you tethered to the past. Your body feels heavy, grounded, but your soul feels restless, as if it's somewhere else entirely. You long for silence and stillness, yet anxiety gnaws at you in the quiet. This tension echoes Jung's view, the clash between persona and self, the crisis before integration. It's also the dance of the Apollonian and Dionysian, the desire for order and clarity fighting the chaos of authenticity. Or perhaps it's the wound of trauma shaping your adaptive self, now challenged by the emerging truth. The emotional toll is palpable exhaustion from being pulled into directions, doubt about which part is truly you, shame for slipping back into old habits, grief for the self that's fading away. But remember, this split isn't dysfunction. It's a sacred stage of transformation. You are not failing, you are breaking free from a shell. This inner fracture is the necessary space where true alignment begins, and though painful, it's the doorway to wholeness. But what if this tension isn't the end of you, but the very beginning of something more real? What if the chaos you feel is not destruction, but initiation of sacred alchemy unfolding within? You're not breaking apart, you're breaking open, like a seed cracking open to reveal new life. Healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about weaving it into a richer, more authentic fabric. In Jung's view, this is the process of bringing the unconscious into conscious awareness, the slow, deliberate act of inner architecture being rebuilt. It's organic growth, like a garden transforming through the mess of composted old selves into fertile ground for new possibilities. This inner chaos is the raw material the self uses to craft meaning, to forge a stronger, more integrated identity. Your symptoms, confusion, apathy, guilt, emptiness, are not signs of failure, but signals of deep reorganization. They are the whispers from your soul, guiding you through the alchemical process of transformation. Pain becomes presence. Grief becomes the soil in which your true self begins to flourish. Remember, no transformation happens in comfort. Growth often wears the mask of discomfort. When the soul reorganizes you, it may feel like falling apart, but underneath, it's a profound coming together. This is the sacred work of integration, trusting that, in the chaos, a new and more authentic self is emerging, ready to shape a future rooted in true alignment. Instead, you begin designing something entirely new, something that truly fits who you are now. You're not returning to normal, you're creating a new normal, one that honors your deepest truth. The life you once chased no longer fits because it was shaped by external scripts and expectations. That's not failure, it's an invitation to redefine yourself from within. Imagine your identity as a living, malleable structure, no longer a fixed costume crafted by ego, but a fluid home built from the resonance of your soul. You're designing a space for authenticity, not masks. Instead of wearing roles that demand performance, you're learning to become transparent, to show up as you truly are. What once fueled you might now feel empty, but that emptiness is fertile ground, a space for what genuinely nourishes your spirit. This process echoes Jung's idea of individuation, becoming the fullest expression of yourself. It's about creating from your essence, not conforming to external standards. You might find yourself saying no to relationships that demand compromise, or stepping away from work that doesn't align with your values. You're driven by what feels true, not what's expected. This is real freedom, conscious, messy, and deeply personal. And as you rebuild, remember, this is only the beginning. The next step is reconnecting with the world, renewed and aligned. Imagine stepping into your relationships not to prove yourself, but to share your truth, speaking more honestly, even if your voice trembles. You create without seeking approval, allowing your inner light to shine through your actions. You walk away from roles that no longer serve your soul, feeling a calm peace and simplicity, no longer hungry for applause. You respond to life, not react, respond with a steadiness that comes from knowing who you are. This is sacred work, living as a reflection of your inner truth, inviting others into that authenticity. You attract connections that resonate with your genuine self and gently release those rooted in performance. Your life becomes an honest expression of your unique essence, not a battleground for approval. Remember, your truth is medicine, powerful and healing when shared freely. This is the sacred act of returning, a luminous participation in the collective story. And as you step into this new way of being, prepare yourself for the next phase, a life guided by symbols, intuition, and soulful purpose. According to Jung, this is the symbolic life, a sacred realm where meaning is not simply received but felt through the depths of your being. It's not superstition but a profound form of psychological and spiritual intelligence. Dreams reveal emotional truths, recurring symbols mirror internal shifts, and gut feelings guide you toward authentic choices. Perhaps a certain number keeps appearing, or a song echoes in your mind at just the right moment. These are the universe's whispers, inviting you to listen beyond words. This perception demands stillness, trust, and a willingness to embrace not knowing, trusting that beneath the surface lies a deeper wisdom, a connection to your true self beyond ego's grasp. Jung reminds us, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, and in this symbolic life, you begin to see that life itself is a poem waiting to be translated. No longer do you ask for signs, you see them everywhere, patterns, shapes, pulls, and feel their meaning resonating within. This is a participatory dance, where symbols are co-creators, and your response, imperfect yet honest, unfolds new depths of being. The symbolic life awakens a sacred dialogue with existence, leading you toward a purpose rooted in genuine contribution and soulful expression. This inner transformation has brought you to a place where authentic living is no longer an aspiration but a natural expression of who you are. Now your deepest truth is ready to be shared, not as performance, but as genuine presence. True contribution isn't about perfection or approval. It's about showing up fully, imperfectly, and consistently, allowing your unique voice to resonate through creative projects, acts of healing, mentorship, or simple everyday kindness rooted in integrity. Remember Jung's wisdom. Individuation culminates in service to the collective, transforming the self into a bridge between inner worlds and outer realities. As you embody this wholeness, you become a vessel of inspiration, illuminating the way for others. Embrace vulnerability, release fears of judgment, and trust that your story, your lessons, and your gifts are needed now more than ever. Your legacy isn't measured in grandeur, but in the ripples of presence and authenticity you leave behind. This is not a finish line but a new beginning. Keep growing, expressing, and serving from the fullness of your awakened self. Your life is a work of art, and your contribution is a sacred act of creation.